I feel like we're gonna have to test the sound thing somehow. I don't even know how to do that. The song is gonna make me crazy. I don't know. Do you have sound? Do we have sound? We have sound. All right. We're still a few moments early, but yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. So many successful ones only to realize like I have no idea how I got that to work. Oh dear, what could it be? All right. Hey, the bot's running. Do a 8 ball thing. Yeah, no music yet. I'm worried about the startup song, and then I'll add the music. Do a magic 8 ball. Make sure it's running. Oh, that's annoying. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and we are still working on the first pillow, which is come a long ways. It's kind of cool. We're digging it. Um, but we've come to the unfortunate part where I actually have to add string. I mean, it's kind of hard to see this. This is still fairly long, but all of the strings are getting used at a same sort of pace. And as a result, if I don't do something about it soon, um, I would have to change them all up at once. And the big project taught me that that's a bad thing. Um, it is very difficult. So I'm changing 2 colors at once. I'm going to change out this one it's more of a red than the oranges are, and then the darkest color, which is sort of a reddish brown. So those are the ones I'm going to be changing out. And I'm changing these two out in this row. And then in the next row, I'll change out the 2 lightest colors, and the row after that, I will change out those colors. So it's gonna be difficult for a little while, and you know this kind of thing is coming, and there's just no getting around the fact that it's less fun. Hey, let me throw in some music and turn it down for me a little bit. I don't get into the music so much that I forget to talk. So okay. Um yeah, anyways, this is we I only just got done with this whole row up here last night, kind of late in the day. So this adding string thing has just been kind of what I've been playing with this morning a bit. And then I took a break because I've noticed that if I do this for too long a period, my hands are starting to cramp up and give me trouble. So I'm kind of pacing myself a little more than I used to. I don't know. Maybe it's from the big project. Maybe it's just I'm getting old. I don't know. Could be both. Oh, winter's here too. I looked down at my work for a minute and looks like the chat has exploded. Well, that's unfortunate. Anybody who has to undo work, that's definitely bad. Of course, this kind of taking out the knots is a lot harder than taking apart crocheting, but destroying something you worked hard on definitely sucks. All right, let's see. See, like I said, I'm going to change out the red one and that dark one. And do my best to hide all of the my efforts best I can. So I hope everybody's had a pretty good week. Over here, it's been okay. We're I think approaching back to some kind of normal after the whole thing with Dad and his whole grieving and whatever. I think he's actually fairly tame these days. We'll see how things go tomorrow. Our helper's taking the day off, so that tends to be a little something. It'll be a little more challenging for me and the wife, of course. Interesting side note, because of that whole thing, he actually bothered to learn her name and has been rather proud of himself, calling her by name. Earlier, he had come up with a number of small nicknames that he would use, Nene and all kinds of things. But the last few days, I've actually heard him calling her by name. And for somebody with Alzheimer's, I mean, that's kind of amazing. I don't know. It's different for sure. And he even seems a little pleased with himself when he gets it right. Like he doesn't use it every single time, but when he gets it, it's like, aha, kind of cute. All right. Yeah, like I was saying, I didn't necessarily have to change up these colors right yet. These strings do seem a little bit long, but so far this is 6 inches in. The whole thing overall will be 18 inches. So being a third of the way in, and I have enough to change up a couple more times, means I can kind of get away with making the change now and then kind of worry about the strings kind of, in some kind of a sequential thing, because honestly, if I just let it run out, it would be really troublesome. Even just doing 2 in a small space like this is a little less than fun, but it's not unbearable or anything. So one of the things I'm doing here is I'm changing out both strings in the same spot, right? So let me show you how I'm doing that. I start it with taking the 2 strings I'm going to tie into a knot and just doing half of the knot, and then putting the one that was doing the traveling up at the top. And then over off to the side here, I've managed to rig up a system to where I can have 2 different colors of strings hanging on 2 different hooks, which I'm super feeling smug about because I didn't have one of these last week, and this week I do. So anyways, I find the halfway point and I put it going off into that one to the right. Get another string. And I will put it off to the left. So when I'm kind of done with that, I have strings going in, 4 completely different directions. But that's good because it makes it real easy to see which ones I'm supposed to use, right? So this is the string that was doing the traveling. I pick it up again and I finish that knot. And I make sure I put it in really, really nice and tight because there's so much string in that one little space right there. We want to make sure that we are concealing it as best as possible. Now, I'll take the long string, do the first part of the knot, take the short one, put it in, and knot over top of it. And sort of just do that whole long string and then put in the short string a couple, 2, 3, 4 times, just to make sure that it can't unravel. There we go. And I like to make sure that I take the one that's no longer in use and kind of slide it up and under and up out of the way because I don't want to accidentally pick it up later on thinking I'm supposed to do something with it and run into trouble. So okay, now we're back to this side again. Figure out which one is the long and which is the short. And yeah. So this is the same thing, it's just going in the opposite direction. Kinda cool. I love that you guys are busy having a whole conversation without me. That's what it is. I look up and just say like, okay, yeah, you guys are having fun. There we go. So yeah, though basically I'll be able to change out all 6 colors in 3 rows. So I don't know. I think that seems like a pretty quick changeover, and yeah, not bad. Not too bad. It does take a lot more time and effort to actually change up the strings. However, I can't imagine if I were to try to use full-length skeins, because essentially that's what it is, right? I mean, I'm changing up the object here, or the plan for this here, is I'll replace the strings twice. All right, so that means 1/3 was up here, 1/3 on the area I'm working now, and 1/3 yet to come. So the fact that I cut my strings into thirds means that each one of these would be 1 skein long. I could put them onto the little bobbins or whatever and try to tie the knots, but I think it would be so incredibly frustrating the way the bobbins would interact with each other and make tying the knot so difficult. It would be only in that last final 1/3 that you actually felt like, you know, kind of back to normal. You could take the bobbins off. I think it would be way slower than what it is to actually do that, adding the string the way I just showed you. It just doesn't, it wouldn't make any sense. kind of weird. So many of the strings are really, really short now, and to have like this long red one, suddenly it just feels so out of place compared to everything else. Sort of cool. I mean, it shows that things are changing back to whatever. Have it. All right. Oh, I did. You're absolutely right. Secret word game still going. And it's minute craft. I still say it seems like minute craft, but it's minute apparently. So minute craft has donated a lovely bracelet, and she's absolutely right. We need to make sure that we let you guys know that's still a thing. So yeah. It's another one of those. It's been so long, I kind of forget about it. Like it actually took me a moment there to actually think what the word is, so I can be careful and not give it away. Oh, shoot! The Inspire light's not turned on. And it doesn't want to come on. There it goes. It's not Inspire, by the way. Hey! I know that guy. It's Benson. Sweet. Alright, add more string. I'm not even sure if I actually gave myself enough string over here on the side to actually do this, but I have enough cut up. I cut like 10 skeins today, so yeah. Well, no. I cut 10 skeins of each of the two colors, so I cut 20 skeins up today. And I think we actually have a gecko in the house who has been playing with the strings because I've shown you guys the hooks and stuff before. Let's see, it's this one. So I have hooks like this, and the darkest color there keeps getting tangled in a way that it could not be the breeze. It's dragged and hooked on and whatever. A gecko is playing with the string, and it's happened a couple nights in a row now. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to like poison the geckos. They get rid of a lot of the bugs and stuff that we don't want. But at the same time, I don't want geckos playing with my string. It just really not cool. Dude, you're always working. That's why you never have time to do anything fun. Heck yeah, still a game anytime you're free, dude. So yeah, this is coming along. So yeah, I mean, like, if you have any questions about like how to add the string or whatever, like, this is probably a really good time because I'm going to be adding a bunch. One of the unfortunate things is that because so many of the other strings have gotten so short that I'm going to run into a problem here soon. Right now, you can't really see off screen. All these strings are going off to a little S hook that I have mounted over here on my desk. And as we get a little bit further along, that will cease to be available because the strings won't hook over it. So I don't know what I'm going to do at that point. A lot of what I do comes as reaction as opposed to everything being all planned ahead or something. It's yeah, some people there I actually get some people that come back and maybe not so much with the live stream, but later on they listen and watch my videos while making their own projects. Apparently they find it soothing, which I'm cool with that. If that's their how they want to chill and vibe, I'm totally down with that. Okay, I need to take this one red one and slide it up underneath everything again. Alright, now I have to add string for the dark one now. And again, I just find the middle point and then wrap it around the other short one. I find the middle point of the long one, the one that's coming in. And to do that, I basically take the two little ends like this, and then just slide it down until I get to the loop. So that'll be the middle. It's relatively simple, but it's amazing how it works. Like if I had made this all single, two things would have happened. One, I would need about a third or more number of strings to equal the whole overall width. That's one. Because I've double up, the amount of strings to make that amount of space is much fewer. Two, I wouldn't have a real problem on my hands when it came time to trying to add the strings. I could, of course, split embroidery floss in half. That's totally a thing. There's like 6 strands of thread in each one of these little strings here, which that could be doable. It'd be crazy time consuming and difficult, but it is potentially possible. I've had to do it for other things in the past. Or I would have to find an alternative way. The fact that I loop it on the way I do really makes sure that that side can't come undone. And that's, you know, and I get to trim everything on the back down really, really short. And that's the benefit. Oh, Rainbow made it. Yay! And I'm gonna wait to actually trim off the those little ends that are on the back there. I'm gonna wait a bit and trim them off. I don't like to lift the work up too much to go after that like so soon or whatever. It's just kind of, I don't know, it sort of takes a lot more time than it's worth. I can go through and just trim them all at once when, you know, there's a lot of them at once, so if that makes sense. Oh, Amanda, you're gonna crack up. So last Sunday was the get together for all of the Patreon people, and the big thing they wanted to know was the fact that you had seen the airplane trolley and that you had seen some of the strings, and we're talking about how much string there was. We actually did a airplane trolley breakdown and what's in the other drawers that were not pulled out for you to go through. So yeah, that actually was a thing last week. Speaking of, before we go too far into this, I do want to thank my Patreon supporters for all the help. I think we're getting closer to actually having the Mandy cam, and right now I'm trying to do the research into it because I think it might be cool when the Mandy cam is actually on to actually have it to where we can hear what she says, because right now the only microphone in the room obviously is mine, so the camera actually has to have like a built-in microphone, and I really don't want to spend, you know, like $200 or whatever, like this camera, that one right there, that one was pretty expensive. It was probably close to 200. So I don't necessarily want to buy another one of those, especially seeing as how the window will be small like this one, and I don't need that high of resolution in order to make that work. So we'll see. I do think it will be a Logitech though, because that's what the main camera here is, and the software supports having two of the cameras, and it allows for certain things to be able to be done that look like it's pretty cool. So might even give me some cool shots for just when it's just me putting together videos, like the Friday videos I used to do. So we'll see what happens. Yes, the camera will have no butts. Well, that's not fair. You get to play the game well. So about an hour ago, my wife just introduced me to the fact that there is a We Bare Bears game that's sort of in the same kind of genre as Candy Crush. And yeah, it's no wonder she doesn't want the Mandy cam. She's over there having fun playing. And now she's giving me eye rolls for calling her out on it. Right. My alarm went off, and normally I would have taken my meds before now. But for some odd reason I actually forgot it. There's a lot of trying to finesse this into shape. I don't know if you can see, like when I try to get the string no longer in use to go underneath everything else, but that was that little maneuver I was just doing. Getting excited about this. Now that the pattern is almost all the way through a second time, it's really kind of gives me more incentive to get this thing done. It's, I don't know, I find motivation through getting excited about, you know, progress. And yeah, this is definitely making progress. One of the things I am going to hate, though, coming up soon, will be the fact that some strings will be very long and the other ones are quite short. And the long ones will drag all the way down to the ground. So I have to start being super cautious with the wheels of my chair because I can get them caught. And yeah, that could get ugly. That's way cool that you're making patterns and able to sell them. Yeah, that's awesome. Way to go, winner. Alright. Yeah, I do think I underestimated the amount of string that I'll need here for tonight because it looks like I'm getting kind of low already. I don't know. We barely got started. Maybe TikTok. I've put Mandy to work now to add a thing where it'll be able to, the bot will be able to mention my TikTok handle thing. The top of the thing. Yeah, I think your earrings turned out really cute there, Amanda. And I think that that's a totally cool, you know, usage for leftover strings. I have I have a lot of leftover string. A lot. I can't even. You didn't hit save. I wonder if you should put in various spellings so that way in case somebody gets it. Oh, okay. There is an awful lot of cringe, but TikTok seems to figure out what you hit like to, and then you'll get more of that stuff. So if you just skip over the cringe, it should eventually kind of go away. I get a lot of kitten videos, so yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I have on a couple occasions gone to bed and figured I'll just look at TikTok for a few. And the next thing I know, 2.5 hours has passed, and I can't even imagine that that happened. So yeah. But I did a cute little video that shows my pinwheels, and then it shows what I'm working on. So that was kind of cute. Yeah, I had to send Mandy a video the other day. It was so darn cute. The guy stopped this car because he saw a kitten, and he thought he was rescuing a kitten. And before you know it, you know, 3 or 4 more popped out. And, oh my gosh! Oh, there's more! Oh, and before it was over, there was 13 kittens coming out of the grasses, and like, yeah, rescue us too. This poor guy. Was that the one with me in it? Yeah. So Rainbow, I'm so tempted in doing that, like actually, you know, just random patterns or different whatevers. My only fear is I'll end up like you, like just doing the cross stitching and then forget all about bracelet work. Cause like, I don't want to do that. That's scary. I like my bracelet. Yeah, hers did, mine didn't. Hers just happened to have a video with me in it. Me being very silly, by the way. That was possibly what helped make that happen. I wouldn't go so far as to say it was a good video. No, I would not. Yeah. Try doing needlepoint when it's the continental stitch, which is essentially kind of like your cross stitch, except for you only go always in one and then diagonally to the other, to the next. Always. That's it. And it basically fills in kind of much the way this does. It fills in all the squares or whatever. So patterns can be relatively simple, straightforward, and whatever. That's what I used to do for my needlework. And yeah, oh, it was totally addictive. As a kid, I took on a number of projects, including ones I designed myself. My mother was so proud of that. She thought that was amazing that I was making my own crafts. I don't know what a tent stitch is. Maybe that's the... I don't know what a tent stitch is. I do know that continental is a thing to needlepoint. I don't know that it is, if it's maybe called something different on a different canvas. Because needlepoint fabric is way more, it looks like the screens like in that, you know, in a, put in a window to keep the bugs out. Yeah, I wish I had them. I honestly, like, that stuff was from so long ago, and I have no idea whatever happened to any of that stuff. My mom had the ones I did framed and stuff, and that was a big thing when I was young. But I have no idea what ever happened to it. In fact, I don't even know if I remember seeing it after we changed houses. It is quite possible, and I wouldn't put it past my sisters to have thrown it out when we moved. Like, oh, well, we don't need this anymore. Because my sisters were definitely jealous over the amount of time I spent with my mom and doing things and hearing about how special I was, you know, making my own stuff and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, it would not surprise me one bit that when we had to, after my dad passed away, that my sisters were like not having it, and they got thrown out. It's like, yeah, like if you picture going in one square and then going up diagonally and then going in and then going down and then coming up diagonally again. Yeah, it's essentially half of a cross stitch, right? I wish I could interject images from searches directly into these videos. I might actually have to work on something like that. That might be a thing. But yes, it is like half of a cross stitch. I'm sure if you look up continental stitch, you'll see in Google Images, you'll get the general gist of what that all looks like.
Here it comes, something went wrong. Try again in a few seconds.
And there she goes, thinking I'm talking to her. Damn it. The thing too with the needle point is the kind of string you use is much thicker, so it kind of fills in all the little gaps. There's like, you couldn't really do it with the cross stitch stuff because you'd see too much of the background. Yeah, that would totally work. You could totally use like the cross stitch generators and use it for that instead, and it would totally work. I have to admit, I think there is a possibility by the next week we will have the other backing on here, the one from Big Project. This trying to move strings off underneath is becoming increasingly more troublesome. The more string I have over here, the harder it is to get the strings underneath. Frogging is undoing your work, like if particularly crochet. Knitting would be a lot harder, but yeah, it's undoing what you've already done up. Kind of like that song from Weezer. Let's see if anybody gets my reference. Anybody get the Weezer song? No? I think it's actually called the Sweater Song. I very seldom ever had to undo knitting, but on the occasions I did, um, yeah, it was just easier to just take the whole damn thing apart. Like, call it a lesson and just run with it. Yeah, for a moment there, Rainbow, I thought you had a stroke or something. I was like, what? What went unnoticed? Really? You've never heard that song? Oh my god. It's um it's the Sweater Song. It is, I don't know. Call me. It is a little sad. Putting in too many characters. There we go. It is. It is a little sad, but it's also known as, let's see what, Undone. It's also known as Undone, but I think everybody just called it the sweater song because that was the big part. Part of it is just like talk like there's a party going on and whatever, but this guy, he's sort of having difficulties with life in general or something, and yeah, talking about his sweater coming undone. Kind of neat. It was very 90s. Jeez. Oh no. You would think they would give people a heads up, like, I'm gonna be out here, don't kill me. You didn't like knock over a bucket of paint or anything. It wasn't too Three Stooges like, right? Okay, this is cool. This is interesting. So, kind of not super into the whole camera angle thing there, but okay. We're finally to the row that goes upside down, which the outer part stays the same, so the reds will still be whatever. But the neat part is that this was put where it was because it's 1/3 in. There's 24 bracelets, and so like 8 of them in is where I put the stripey thing. And the fact that we're already 1/3 in, and I did that today, means that yeah, I'll probably get this whole row done easily this week, and be possibly even the next row as well. So that's kind of really encouraging. And I managed to use up all the string that was on the hook. So give me a second. I'll be right back with more string. And I brought all of the string, not because I think that I'm going to go through it all, but because this way I can keep it away from that gecko. Forget that gecko. Oh, I drank this just before we came on the air. Have any of you guys tried this? It is Starshine limited edition Coca-Cola. It comes in this really, let's see if it's prettier up here. Yeah, it comes in this really pretty can. Let me go to the real pretty can, right? I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think it tastes like? I honestly, I have no idea. I can't. It's kind of like Coca-Cola. I kind of think it tastes like the ABC drinks, the apple, beetroot, and carrot. I think it tastes like that plus Coca-Cola, kinda. I mean, other than that, I can't. It's weird. Oh yeah, Rainbow, you missed it. So my strings hang on the wall like this. And the last few days I've been coming into the office in the morning, and a little bit of the red string has been stuck all the way up and around the corner, like in a way that no breeze ever could get this thing tangled. So there's a gecko that is coming in here and playing with my strings at night. I don't know why, but he's been doing it for a little while now, so yeah. It's really weird. I don't know about unicorn puke, but it is a weird taste. It is unusual. It's a limited time thing, so I mean, try it. You can, go to a 7-Eleven, pick it up, try it. You might actually really like it. With so that'd be unfortunate because it's a limited time thing, and nothing like, trying something you really like and then not having it. But yeah, I don't know what to think. The fact that there was a gecko playing with the string, and mind you, it's been a couple weeks of like the string being in a weird whatever, like it was kind of knocked down or something. I thought it was I was opening the door and in the morning too hard or something and creating a bunch of string to go flying or something. It took me a little while, but the last couple days, the way the string ended up was impossible for it to be wind, and that's what kind of clued me into the fact that we have a little guy running through here at night. And like I said, I don't want to like set up traps or poisons or anything like that. Geckos get rid of the things that we don't like, so yeah, I just yeah, I've been wondering, like, should I keep the empty can, because it's cool and it represents the thing. But I guess collectors want the actual drink in the can. But I don't know. I already have one cool Coca-Cola can that's I'm collecting. It says, give this can to AKA AWOL. I think that's kind of dope. One more. They are very cute. And we have our kitchen windows all slide to one side. So like there's 3 of them and they all have like a frosted glass to it. And we have a couple of geckos that hang out in there during the day, you know, to avoid being eaten by birds and stuff. And I'm sure they get up to all kinds of nonsense at night. But yeah, we don't do anything to discourage them. Yeah, they make messes. Yeah, they're not, you know, whatever. Night, Amanda. I think, because I'm kind of having trouble with the strings that are dying versus the strings that I'm doing. I think we'll get out the other board. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a trick. But it shouldn't be too terrible. So there's my easel. Hold that. And this is my board with a hole in it. These two haven't seen each other in a little bit now, so yeah. Cool. Now, basically just take off all my clips. The one that was holding all the dead strings all tangled up. Feed all those under there. And flip 1, 2, and 3. Wow, that was actually not too bad. How about that? So we have the hole going through again. I know that's probably not that big of a deal to you guys, but for me, this is amazing. It allows me to add the strings and put the short ones down through the hole to be clipped at a later date without having them in my way or anything. So yeah. Yeah, we've never seen them hatch. We have seen gecko porn. Happened to be down at a coffee shop, and I don't know, I'm just kind of observant and pointed it out, and then Mandy let out a little and then I think that caused other people sitting around us to be like, what is the, oh my god. And yeah. See, now that leftover bit of bread can go to the back. All right. Not bad. You might have thought I had a little post-traumatic thing from after having done the big project like this, but I'm okay. So yeah, now I have quite the pile of string over at my side. More than enough to get quite a bit done. But there's so much that finding one single strand and getting it away from the rest of the group without knocking everything to the floor is a bit more of a challenge. Oops. Oops. Yeah, doing this thing backwards thing. All fun and games at first. I had a friend that was like that, except for his was all snakes. He had somewhere like 120 different snakes, all for the purpose of different breeding and whatever. It was pretty ridiculous. I wouldn't mind having like birds, but I just saw a video of a parrot asking Alexa for music and realized that with all of our lights and music and things all wired, yeah, I could just imagine the mayhem that a bird could create here. I got so used to the way of putting the strings around the back from the big project, I forgot that since this thing is small, I can actually just reach around and pull it through. So that's nice. The Bella Jubilee. Aww. That sounds really fun, Rainbow. That is way cool. Wait, that's a subject in college? Oh, I could totally go to college. You guys missed the eye roll. I don't know what bleeps are. I have had it demonstrated for me, so again, no Mandycam. So, curiosity, I don't know if you guys will remember it per se. I did a bracelet tutorial a while back, quite a while back, for a St. Patrick's Day. It was only using forward and backward knots, the left, right, if you will, in a relatively simple pattern. I kind of laid it out as something that shouldn't be too difficult or whatever. And I put it under as an easy bracelet. And I had somebody recently tell me that they didn't feel that this one necessarily was all that easy, and that since I had used some time lapse in the video, that I should have mentioned the time lapse, I don't know, beforehand or something. I don't know. Basically, I used the time lapse to be able to show what the work was without making the video be 3 hours long. But yeah, he kind of was scolding me for trying to say that that was easy. Mind you, he was saying that he was having a hard time just doing chevrons. So, I mean, if you can't do chevrons, yes, almost everything you try to do in bracelets is going to be difficult. But I don't know if easy should be limited strictly to chevrons, I guess is my point. In my mind, anything that just is using the left and right knots, even like this project here itself, is only using left and rights. It's technically, in my mind, one of the easier patterns possible. Mind you, I made it more complicated with having this thing go upside down and whatever, and that I've got it 24 wide, so that's 288 strings. Yeah, I made it more difficult. But is the pattern itself difficult? I don't think it is. But yeah, so is it possible that Marsha, and I have gotten out of touch, and we've been doing bracelets so long, the things that we think are easy is over the heads of the people who are beginning? Is that? I don't know. I'm I mean, I don't want to be out of touch with those people. Yeah, and that's kind of like where I was before, like before actually mentioning this. Like I mentioned it just out of curiosity, but yeah, I'm not gonna sweat it because I've tried to teach a number of people who looked at what I was doing, says, "Oh, what you're doing looks easy. I want to try it." Spend hours getting string ready, getting whatever, explaining forward, backwards knots, getting them basically started, only to have them about 20 minutes into it go, "Man, this is too repetitive and difficult, and I don't want to have anything to do with it ever again." It's like, "Oh, great. All that time and effort I just put into showing you. Yeah, thanks." And it's basically how I ended up doing the channel, to be honest. I, for years, wanted to have a protege. I felt that I had something to teach, and, you know, I was able to do things that I'd never seen done before, and I didn't want it to die with me, you know? I didn't want to be the one guy that could make some killer bags and stuff, or, you know, whatever. That's kind of how the channel came about, is that this was a way of reaching people and trying to see if anybody else could get the gist of what I'm doing and see what the public at whole kind of thought of it. And so like the spiral bases or whatever, there's only a couple people that know how to do that so far. But the fact that there are other people doing it delights me. Like, at least that became a thing. Yeah, you do it 2 out of the 4 knots. Yeah, that's exactly where. Mind you, mind you, the Celtic bag I did only uses 2 of the 4 knots, and I would argue that that's kind of borderlining. Well, not even borderline. If I were to do a tutorial on that one, that would go into intermediate, just because um, it was tricky enough that I actually had to mark where the starts of each one of the sets were with a little red string, so I could spot when different parts of the thing happened at different whatever. So I mean, that you can literally get a two-directional bracelet so complicated that yeah, not not something everybody's doing for sure. You know, the funny thing is, Mandy says don't want the Mandy cam, but then off to the side here, she makes cute faces and stuff, and I can't begin to imitate the the looks that I get. So yeah. Her mouth may say one thing, but her eyes say another. So yeah, if this project is smaller than, say, like the big project was and has many advantages because of it being smaller, unfortunately, we've gotten to the point where I'm having to add strings. Otherwise, I would be able to take this out into the living room tomorrow and, while watching over Dad, be able to work on this. Unfortunately, though, we've gotten to that point in the thing where I just don't have the room for the rest of the cut string. And I can't imagine like getting up and going across the house every single time it's time to add the strings. I think that would be, well, it'd be a heck of a workout. So yeah, I don't know. Kind of feel like maybe I can't do this tomorrow. And then Monday, I have a date with my wife. We haven't quite nailed down all the details, but we're going to go out for the first time in a while and sip drinks and kibitz. It'll be nice. Hey, Riley. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, there's still 2 left. You can tell your friends. There's still... I'm down to 2 of them. They're actually within arm's reach. So I got this one. And I got this one. Yep. So 2 left. Rainbow, did yours ever make it to you yet? I wish there was a way that oh yeah. No, like right after we were talking about it, like after you bought it, that was boom, done. Mind you, I don't, yeah, it should be there like literally any day now. I'm not sure if I wrote it in my journal. After we're done recording, whatever, I'll check in the journal to see whether or not I wrote it in, because that's That's kind of why I have a bullet journal, is so that way in case somebody says, hey, when did you do the thing? I can look back and be like, oh, there it is. Which really helps with some of my anxiety issues I have, because some of my anxiety comes from, I'll never remember when that day was. Right. Yeah, it was long before Jubilee stuff. You could probably go into WhatsApp and then look up, like, well, yeah, try bracelet. I'm guessing there's been more than a few instances of talking about bracelets. Actually, Mandy could take a look. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, suddenly realized, like, yeah, that's not as helpful. All right, Riley, go get groceries. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for showing off my stuff. So what happened, Winder? I don't understand. Yeah, I knew it had been a while. Better be. Better not get lost in the mail. Or some postman thinking, you know, got a little slice of history. There's somebody at the post office there on your side thinking, ah, this needs to be taxed heavily. This is a, you know, one of 6. I'm assuming people at the British Post Office watch my videos. You guys are missing, I'm telling you, Mandy Cam. It's coming. Oh, I don't really think it's lost in the mail. One of the other people who have gotten the limited edition bracelets was Rainbow. I was asking her if it had arrived yet, and it has not. There's only 2 of them left. Kind of blows my mind. Yeah, we was one of the things I was realizing I was going to have to do tomorrow is get that into the mailbox. So good thing you said something, because I probably would have put down the whole winter thing, but all right. No, no. Yeah, kind of kind of dawned on me earlier today that I had to do it. One of those I keep meaning to, but then 50 million other things, like fish tank needs cleaning. Yeah, I don't know about the nightmare for the last name thing. If you want to be completely honest, winter is cool, but the nightmare thing seems like trying to be more cynical or more like what a 14-year-old thinks is a badass kind of thing. I don't know. It just doesn't really seem to fit the personality all that well. It seems like it should be like even storm would seem, winter storm would be less whatever. I don't know, something not nightmare. Oh, I thought you were, when you're changing your name, you're going to put down the two together like that. You were gonna change your name completely, right? Like, for real? I don't know. It just seems like nightmare just seems so... I don't know. I can't put my finger on why it just doesn't fit. You're too nice of a person to have nightmare for a name. It doesn't click somehow. The winter thing is cool. I think the winter is way cool. I can see winter doesn't have to be derogatory or whatever. A nightmare is a more derogatory thing. It's like a bad dream, literally. And I don't see you as being a bad dream or somebody's nightmare or, just my 2 cents. Well, winter is, like I said, winter, you can picture it as being nice. A nice winter day can be something beautiful. But nightmare is definitely something derogatory or, something you picture 14-year-old boys wanting to have in their name because, they're trying to be tough and scary or whatever. It just doesn't fit the personality, I think. Maybe. I mean, like I said, it's up to you. I don't care. I'm just pointing out that seems a little, I'm not sure what the word is for it. I mean, when you say it fits your personality, perhaps you're seeing it from a perspective from internal as opposed to how other people see you. Because when I think of you, I don't see a nightmare at all. I mean, I don't know what part of your personality that you see as a nightmare. That might be something. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I would examine that a little bit to see how you came up with it and why you feel that fits. I hope I haven't upset you, and have a good day. And I'm sorry if I guess I'm trying to give you. I don't see why you would take offense to the fact that I think that you're nicer than a nightmare. That doesn't make sense. But okay. You asked for feedback. When you first were thinking about doing the whole winter thing, you asked for feedback. I've had time to think about it, and that when you, whatever, you had originally asked us for our thoughts on it. I'm not bashing the name, I'm just saying it doesn't feel like it fits. I'm impressed with how much string has gotten added on here tonight. It's a lot of progress. So it's just well, to this part right here above where I'm at is 6 inches. So it's 1/3 of the overall length. That's why I'm changing up the strings, starting to change them up now, is because I feel like I sort of can. Because when we did the math for this, we calculated that we would change out the strings twice. And it is a little early to be changing them up, but I felt like if I did these 2 rows, it would be like the normal length of the bracelet. Like, I don't know where the green one went, but the green one was like this, the same length as going through the whole cycle twice, right? And at the end of it, there's really just enough string left over to do the braids. And so I really kind of didn't want to get to the point to where all 6 strings had to be changed at once, because that was going to be a real trouble. Like, oh man. So yeah, I'm trying to break it up to where I'm only doing two different strings changed up in any given row. So this row will be the 2 darkest, the next row down will be the 2 lightest, and then the row that comes after that will be the 2 in the middle. Of course, the 2 in the middle is already giving me stress because they're really close together in color. So yeah, like just thinking about messing with strings that are the same color and the possibility of like getting them switched around or whatever. Yeah, those are the things that give me anxiety as well. Yeah, there wasn't really any pictures before you got in here, by the way, because I haven't really snapped a whole lot, which, thinking back now, that's kind of bad news. I don't have the kind of shots like I did with the big project where I can like go through and show you the progress thing, which would have been pretty cool. I've been thinking about doing something to that effect, like if the board itself was always staying in the same place, like setting up somewhere to put the phone or whatever to get a photo a day kind of thing. I think it'd be pretty cool, but I just, for whatever reasons, never seem to get that kind of organization down. Yeah, no, I agree. And that would be exactly how I would use it. It would be the only way that really works out really good is if you can always have it framed the same way each time, or that you shoot the picture so big that you can take the photo and do little shifts, so that way the work always stays in the same spot. Like that's the two ways of doing it. And yeah, I don't know. I haven't figured out exactly how to do that yet. Maybe I can try to make that a thing for the next big project. Well, the next pillow project. I still haven't decided which is the next pillow project. There's the blue one, and then there's the one with the Daiso string. And I keep, in my head, I keep going from, should I try to find an easier 12 color pattern? Or should I just go ahead and do the one pattern that I've done so many times before? Part of me says, well, it's a pillow in my house, then doing the pattern I've done a bunch of times kind of makes sense, because, you know, that's sort of my thing. But then part of me says, but you could totally do something a whole lot easier, and you don't have to give yourself headaches for no apparent reason. Right. Or even just have, like, if there was a spot, let's say it's up here, right, looking down at the thing, even if it was just something where, like, if you laid the phone in the cradle that's somehow suspended, and that way it was always that distance, and then you just snap the shot, and then you could take the phone away, that would be a thing, right? I just don't have the apparatus or whatever to actually attach the phone to. Yeah. Yeah, for a person who overthinks everything, I think throwing a coin doesn't work. It lacks that whole rationality that helped make it happen kind of thing. My analytical brain would not, it wouldn't work. Plus I would just keep, like, okay, 2 out of 3. Yeah, 3 out of 5. No, I know that's what you're saying. So yeah, if if the coin landed on the one I didn't really feel like doing, I'd be like, okay, 2 out of 3. And then if the coin continued to keep giving me the trouble, okay, 3 out of 5. All right, 51 out of 50. Or 51 out of 100. Sorry. All right, I am starting to get really sleepy here, and I think I actually did a pretty decent amount of progress. Now I'm honestly trying to figure out if there's a logistical way that I can actually work on this tomorrow, because as far as I've gotten here today, considering I cut string and everything else, there's a good chance I could get a good ways down tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. The question is, can I decide which one it is that I want? You know, there's strong arguments for both. I don't know. I'm tired. All right, guys. I'm gonna call it quits. Before I go, I want to thank my Patreon supporters for making this possible. And yeah, you guys are the best. I couldn't even contemplate having a Mandy Cam without you guys. So you guys make this stuff possible. So, all right. I will be back next week, hopefully with lots of progress and some interesting anecdotes and things. So, all right. All right. I'll see you guys then. Until then, of course, don't get your strings in a bunch.